will be Strongholds on Recharge. And sorry, I took a minute there. If you are new to Halo and you're watching Strongholds for the first time, you're joining us because you're a fan of FaZe, you're a fan of NaVi, you follow them in other esports, and you're like, man, I want to check out this Halo game. Don't worry, because Strongholds is a very, very simple game. It's essentially the core concept of domination, but you have to hold 2 points in order for you to start earning points. So you have to hold 2 hills, and then you start earning points. You get 3, and well, that gets maximized. You're earning like 2 points like every point, I don't know, 8 seconds or something like that. It's absurd. And we're kicking things off with Eric Rona. We got Snip3down on your screen.
Yeah, Snip3down taking it slow right off the bat, realizing that this A stronghold is important just to keep a hold of, but also he can get a view, that bird's eye view from up top to make sure nobody's jumping that B batteries.
A big start here for NaVi. Respectful getting that camo. Another legendary European Halo player as well. I mean, this team is basically laced up with European Halo legends, but unfortunately, legend status ain't gonna help when Bound is on LAN, and that was a beautiful engagement there for him. See now how they're gonna play around this here. You got FaZe in the red, NaVi in the blue. And as of right now, NaVi, they do have control, but here comes Bound looking to push here with this commando.
God.
Brilliant kill, and that commando is, it's semi-automatic, so you can just hold the trigger and let it rip.
Yeah,
oh!
Fully automatic, actually. So one thing that's interesting that I'm seeing from these top players is as they get into near close range encounters or where they can round the corner on somebody, with something like the commando, they're almost treating it essentially like an AR where they can just pump in so much damage much faster than the BR can output.
Yeah.
And then from there they can, you know, slow it down, make sure that they hit their commando headshot or whatnot, but they're generally ready to just round a corner and just full auto that thing.
Does feel like for Halo Infinite, it's about taking advantage of the entirety of the sandbox, more so than any other Halo that we've seen in the past. 2 down now, right now, for Snip3down and the crew here from FaZe, as now we got bubu looking to fight this one off here. And you know, one thing that I love the most is getting a chance. We haven't had a chance to do this all day, Walsh.
No.
We haven't had a chance to go into a listen-in. What's that, folks? That's right. We're going to go into an Astro listen-in with FaZe Clan. Let's hear the cons of FaZe.
One shot, back ledge, one shot.
Do not die, Brand.
Play my life, play my life. I'm gonna spawn A. Might spawn A. Rubby, I can AP, I can AP. Falcated's weak, Falcated's weak at A. 2 at A, 2 at A.
I'll be. One shot.
Michael's one shot, Michael's one shot. Michael's Snip3down.
Okay, no, see the C.
He's top cat right now, top cat.
I'm coming with you, I'm C with you, Jesse, I'm C with you.
One shot. I'm going to Cat B. There was one shot C1 on the right corner.
I'm
I can't help it.
Are you guys good? Watch out, Mike.
Yeah, there's 2 at C, 2 at C.
Watch out, Mike.
Am I getting flanked or?
No, I think you're good.
Just one on mid.
You're good there, I think you're good.
Okay. Jesse, I'm trying to work with you, alright?
Yeah,
It's one day, it's one day.
C1.
I can't see red. Stacks. I can't see red. There's C1 on me. Killed C1. There was another guy stacks.
Yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, one was top red, okay? Look at top red. Top red right now, 2 shots, Jimbo. 3 shots top red.
We coming C1, we coming C1.
Kill top red.
I traded.
3 dead. I'm pushing C then. Yeah, Bound, I spawned right with you. I spawned with you,
I'm
Bound.
stuck.
I got Needle. He's got Needle and Silo.
For our first listen-in that we've had a chance, you and I, Walsh, to take a listen to, it's very clear, right? Halo, it's all about that small talk. That's the most important thing you could possibly do with your team.
Yeah, many people when they think of call-outs, it's like, oh, like communication, there's calling out where opponents are at and stuff. And like, yes, that's clearly a part of it, but the bigger part is making sure you can reiterate to your teammates or explain to your teammates where you're going and why you're doing what you're doing. You know, explain that I'm with you, meaning I'm with you. We can both run around this corner. If we come in across one person, we're just gonna melt that person. Or we should be able to bait and switch for a 2v2 or 2v1, whatever it happens to be. So all those small little talks are the difference makers.
Yeah, you have to have that communication here. It's so important in Halo. Everyone always thinks Halo is just about like yelling, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's over there barking at your teammates. But no, the small talk, that's the quality comms that you want to hear here. But you know what, though? Looking at this scoreboard, NaVi has come out with such force. It is 116 to 34. We've been hyping up FaZe, but ladies and gentlemen, NaVi's here to play some Halo.
No kidding, they're off to such a strong lead, like you said, almost a 100-point lead. And they're working together as a unit, continually just holding 2 of these strongholds, being nuisances. One thing that I always mark, or I always pay attention to as a mark of a good player, is making the opposing team use 2 people to kill you.
Yes, yes.
It just is such a big difference maker that, yes, every once in a while they might have the grenade to finish you off when you're hiding behind the pillar, but so many other times they will not. and forcing them to use teamwork, forcing them to have other angles, forcing them to not focus on fights on across the map is what's going to add up over time. Like I said, Halo is a game of inches. Every single little decision you make that adds up in your team's favor. Not everything's going to be capitalized on, but every single opportunity that you create for your team just adds up in the long run. The team that does that more often and the team that has a better shot is just going to win.
Yeah, things are getting a little problematic here for NaVi because these trip caps, they keep happening. They keep cycling them. They kind of have them on the back foot. This is where NaVi is going to try and bring this one back. Some calls are being made as well by Jimbo, letting them know, hey, there's going to be some players here up by the tower. The calls have been made, but unfortunately for them, for NaVi rather, they cannot get B control, and they're about to lose C again. So they're constantly playing on the back foot here and having to deal with the fact that the control is for FaZe currently. They haven't been able to gain any points.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough, and they had that 100-point lead, and that's already been halved. It's now only a 50-point game. So it's all been coming down to who's been holding that B stronghold. It's really not possible, I would say, unless you're completely running over their team to really do a long hold-up on something like A and C.
Yeah.
It's generally going to be B in one of those side ones. Yes, every once in a while you'll have A and C as different strongholds change hands or a very odd scenario takes place, but for the most part, as we're talking through the majority of this, it's going to be the B stronghold plus one of those sides.
You know, man, looking at the stats, I gotta say, very impressive what Bound has been able to put together thus far. But on the other side, man, Kimbo, he's been on something, and I'm all for it. Him and 2Foxy, and just as I say that, unfortunately, I think we ended up losing a player there, so that is going to be a very unfortunate situation here. But as we have learned today, it is what it is, and hopefully we can go ahead and get that resolved here. But that was a strong start for NaVi, but credit to FaZe, because there was a point in time where NaVi were just constantly having to just catch 1 point, and that was it. They capped 1 point, and then they try and make moves, and then they get stopped right there, and it just kept happening over and over and over again. So that was the most important thing. All right, let's try this again. FaZe NaVi, we're back, baby. And we're starting it off again with Snip3down here. You got Camo grabbed by the one and only Snip3down, and we'll see what he can play with this one.
The only good thing about Snip3down having Camo up here on the team is you can't see the Snip3down look. That's the only good thing about it. Everything else about it, don't get me wrong, terrible. Snip3down with Camo, he's going to do a lot of damage and do terrible things to your team, but you at least don't get the Snip3down look.
Oh, look at this cheeky play there, hiding in the corner. You can't see me. Well done. Snip3down continuing to linger about here as well. He's got teammates on the push by tower side too, so they'll gladly get this flip. And this is kind of sort of what happened in the last game, Walsh, where they started it off. They were, it was looking good for NaVi, but then there was a point in the game where NaVi were just scrapping for a hill, and they finally get it, and then the cycle just continues. But thankfully for NaVi, they managed to obtain both at the same time. B and C will be theirs.
Yeah, they've done, like, I can confidently say that NaVi have been out-rotating FaZe, at least throughout the initial play of this and this current game thus far. We'll have to see if that can outweigh the slaying power of FaZe, or if FaZe kind of picks it up and figures out how they want to readjust. But it has been apparent that NaVi have gone over the strats. They know how to play as a team. They've been very coordinated and have been, like we said, they've been impressing us thus far.
Brilliant push as well by Snip3down to force that player off of the tower. That high vantage spot as they are going to get A and B control. That will come with some whirlpool control as well. We'll see what Respectful can do here, what kind of plays he can make. Just going to be a trade. You remove that player from the equation, but unfortunately you can't carry on.
One thing I'm also realizing later on in my Halo career is, like, I maybe need to pay attention more to my haircut. Like, look at all these solid players they got. They have, like, a little hair kind of flying in front. Like,
top tier analysis,
yeah,
Walshy.
Like, Snip3down had it going a little to the left side. Yeah. Respectful a little bit on the right side. Look at that. Look at that hair.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. I'm very jealous. I don't know if you've noticed, Dave, but I have no hair.
Yeah, that's also what I was going to point out next.
That's what you're going to point out next.
Like, and if the hairline plays a big part into it, it explains a lot about your skill, Alex.
That makes so much sense. I think I'm just going to have to do some keeps for men or something like that. Just to get me back, get my Halo skills back. Well, folks, here, NaVi have managed to get back B and C control. They had this before, and so much so that they went back for it again. They knew that they wanted it. They had to make the plays happen here. And a great read by Snip3down. Puts the damage, actually going to take 2 down for NaVi. On the opposite side, though, let's see what Bound could do here.
Dude, his movement is nuts.
He's
One
insane.
thing I was talking to about Snip3down with is he's like Bound has this potential to be one of these top players, this top game changers. Like you watch him move across the map, and it's just like his Master Chief is like a little bit faster or something like that. I don't know what he's got going on, but it just moves different than my Master Chief. I don't know. Maybe I need to check my dead zones or something, Golden Boy. But his Master Chief does not move the same way as mine. Can I get some answers, 343?
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Everyone kept saying, oh, maybe it's just an online thing. But no, it's very clear that he's bringing that same kind of tenacity, that play style. He's bringing it over to LAN. And as we all know, in LAN, the shots are crispier, the movement feels right. Hey, so far, so good for Bound in his debut here on the main stage. Very happy for him, but we'll see how this continues to play out. Still, as FaZe continue to, I guess, pull away with this lead here, NaVi now need to dig deep. They have to figure this out, Dave. What are they going to do to try and get right back into it? I guess it starts with Respectful getting a big win there against Snip3down.
Winning a fight like that where you have the height disadvantage against Snip3down is a massive win, but it's still a tall order. I mean, they're still down by 80 points in this scenario. One thing I also want to point out about Snip3down getting that sword kill, like it seems pretty obvious, but like Snip3down first off positioned so well, whereas at line of sight someone's going to round the corner and gets that first kill. But the next thing that Snip3down does is he immediately pushes out past that opponent, because if they didn't expect him there first off, there's a good chance that somebody could connect the dots, get that second kill with the sword, or get the jump with that BR fight. So you notice that that's something that persists not just in Halo, but you see that in Counter-Strike all the time. Somebody gets that kill and then they'll poke out if they've gotten that sort of surprise, that element of surprise on somebody. So that same, like I said, that same foundational piece of first-person shooters applies to all these games.
Snip3down continuing with the camo, as well as that Mangler, a vicious weapon. You see the damage that it does at distance. That's a trade out as well. Only gets that because of that damage output of the Mangler there. Now we'll see how NaVi plays around this. Bound waiting for his teammates. Jimbo's going to be right next to him, and there's the damage of the Mangler. Maybe a clear out here. Jimbo's got to try and win this one out, but the damage has been done, and Jimbo wins, but the trade comes instantaneously. That's going to be bubu dubu for the backup, but a massive win there by Kimbo, and now NaVi have all 3 points.
What an interesting play by Kimbo too. Kimbo realizing that he doesn't even need to go reset that. He's going to go help his teammates, helps, gets that damage over towards B. Now getting this flank on bubu dubu. And NaVi with this extended trip cap, closing this gap right away. Look at those points ticking up, Golden Boy.
This is beautifully done by NaVi. They're winning all their fights. They're helping each other out. There goes a potential reset there at B. They get the reset. The trip cap continues. And this is not looking good for FaZe, but for NaVi, you are feeling fan-freaking-tastic here. They have to keep this one going. They've taken the lead. B might be grabbed here by FaZe, but I have to say, man, with the way that NaVi's playing, Walsh, this could very well be a clean win for them.
Well, as I've been saying, too, it seems like NaVi are so coordinated together, and I want to hear how they're doing this. So let's go to Astro listening with NaVi and hear how they're communicating with each other.
Triangle, sorry, triangle. Snip3down was back. On me, top gold with camo. Camo needler in gold. Bound. Camo needler. Drop bats. Shot to turbine. Where's it going? Where's the turbine guy? I don't know. Here. I see him. There you go.
Absolute.
Weak take bubu going long, one shot. Bubu's one shot long. Bubu was long. They're going to push C, guys. Alright, go B. Go B. There's 2 C.
Two bomb BR. What's on shot?
Looking bottom BR. One shot Snip3down. Absolutely Snip3down. Go, mate. He's one shot still. He's going gold pipes.
Yes, we good.
You went gold pipes. One guy has gold control. He's going to shout that at C. Just play your life. They're going to A parry. They're going to A him. Where's the gold guy? There was a guy gold. Look at Mangler.
Top.
Gold guy.
That call was so beautiful. He told 2Foxy, play her life. So what did he do? He crouched behind a box, hid right there. 2Foxy still alive, still a problem here. He's causing a lot of distraction, a lot of attention being pulled, but they have not captured B yet. They have to do this ASAP, but what a close game this has been.
Yes, incredibly close game. And the other question I had earlier was really answered there from NaVi, how they react to a counter cap. They aren't going back to play defense. They said, let them have C, we're going to go take B. And they react by just going on the offensive on a new stronghold. They want to dictate the pace of the game and decide where the fight happens on their terms.
If it keeps going like this, well, NaVi is going to be feeling pretty good after game one. Strongholds have been a strong showing for them thus far, though. Snip3down has helped. 2Foxy deleted right away, and there goes the trip cap now. And it's just crazy how this game can swing so fast. NaVi were doing everything right, and then here comes FaZe. It's as if they don't care. They're going to continue to just play their game. That's how you have to do this.
Yeah, that was, but wisely, we saw NaVi stop that bleeding instantaneously by capping A, so it seems like they still are at least on the rotation. They're always going for some sort of counter pull on the stronghold, so they never want to really get fully caught off guard or kind of get caught where they're just playing defense and they get taken over and then trip capped on. So that trip cap was very short-lived.
Oh, man. Oh boy, look at the frag starting to come in here. Bubu though with a double kill. We're getting real close to the wire, folks. NaVi could very well walk away with the win. It's going to be such a close matchup here. C as well being contested by Kimbo. A potentially being grabbed by FaZe. See what they could do now. Bound looking to challenge from the long haul side. Kimbo playing his life intelligently enough though. Bound goes in for it, but Kimbo still manages to stay standing here in this engagement. They'll get C. They know, it feels like even though we have the X-ray vision, it's as if they know exactly where they need to be looking, where the players are going to be, because they're prepped, they're ready. They've ran this so many times, and this could very well be game one going to NaVi at this pace.
Yeah, especially at this scoreline, at this point in the game, Golden Boy holding B and C, two very open hills. I really think the only way for FaZe to bring this one back is they have to get control of B. I love this position by Falcated on top of B, blocking his teammate who's over the battery, and 2Foxy just trying to run right past Falcated and gets a great angle, but not going to be enough to take out someone like Bound.
I respect the play there, right? You know, not going to worry about the player in pipes. I'm just going to have to worry about the one that's going to be handling the objective. But a trip cap again. Now at the late stage of the game, this is dangerous. Snip3down, though. I think he was waiting for that camo there because it is going to be available. 2Foxy will be able to get A. Camo's still going to be up for grabs. One player is going to be located top yellow. I believe it's going to be two players top yellow. They need to make a play here. They have to make moves right here, right now, and it's Jimbo that ends up getting the camo. What can he do with it?
I like this play, just jumping right in. This is going to force somebody to drop from glass or bat ledge or just jump right in, and that's going to be Snip3down getting a double, taking out two players. He's going for the triple, trying to close this game out.
They got to go for this right now. They have to stop it. They're on C, so the timer's going to end, but no, he gets wiped out, and it's going to be FaZe Clan walking away with the game one win, but NaVi did not make it easy. Of the weekend here, but for the main stage, for the action at hand, the battleground will be live fire. Slayer. Let's see if NaVi can bounce back, or will FaZe go up 2-0 in this series? You got a sniper rifle available on this map, so you know what that means. Could very well see young, maybe, you know, kind of young, Eric Rona going for the snipe again.
Not young, yeah, not young at all no more compared to
we're a bunch of old
Rages.
people now.
I've been getting called old since I was like mid-20s, so Eric Barrett started getting called old, now he's 30.
Smart, yep, he went right for it. Sniper rifle grab. He does give up the Mangler for it, but I don't think he's really going to care that much about that weapon when he's got the sniper rifle in his possession. He's got a teammate there for assistance as well, and a big win, and that actually is going to drop Sniper. This Bound has to win this, and he does so. He's getting challenged again, and that's going to give up sniper rifle on the back of the base. That's quite problematic here. Here comes Falcated, though, now looking to rectify the problem. Ooh, could have actually thrust it off the... Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was a repulsor.
That was repulsed, almost happened, so barely did not get thrusted, or you said repulsed off the map, but this sniper is still in contention. What I thought would be a guaranteed sniper here for NaVi has turned into a continuous battle here over at the tower, and I believe it's now in the hands of FaZe.
Dude, I tell you right now, the confidence that NaVi is playing with here is exactly what we want to see out of one of Europe's finest squads. 4 players, legends in their own right, now looking to try and solidify themselves here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Can they do it? They got the sniper rifle as well. It's not quite cursed because 2Foxy has possession of it. Barely was used though.
Yeah.
See if 2Foxy gets some shots with it.
Yep. At least laid a little damage down there, but it's still a tied game with Sniper in the hands of NaVi. So I would analyze this and say that clearly NaVi are in the lead at the moment. I would take their position over the other teams at this moment. And there are 3 kills going on the board. Falcated, the only one on the map. We're going to have to see if NaVi try to press this advantage further and try to go for any sort of spawn slaves or get them stuck in an area, or if they decide just to sit back with their power weapons with their lead and let FaZe respawn and organize.
Look at the amount of attention that 2Foxy is pulling over to him. Yeah, sure, he ended up losing a teammate, but he's still alive and he gets another kill. That's an incredible contribution there, right? You know, he missed a few shots with the sniper, but he had pulled all 4 members over toward the tower side and still manages to get a kill, which adds on to this lead. NaVi up by 3.
Managed to get the kill, but one thing that's really tough to know when to and when not to do here in Halo Infinite is to trade those melees. That was just pretty devastating that he got that melee trade out when he was full shield, whereas Bound was 1 shot. And those are all the difference makers. You know, if you're 1 shot and you can somehow get another opponent 1 shot for your teammates, it just kind of continues that cycle. It's always, like I said, those little games that you build up for your team throughout the game, and not every single time is it going to take advantage of, but more often than not, it's going to add up.
Now, we do have to address that FaZe did manage to get overshield there, and they have, as a result of that, not directly, but more just the way that NaVi were kind of forced to play in response to FaZe grabbing the overshield. We have a tied game here. They were able to get those kills, and the way that FaZe, they're challenging together, 2 players constantly engaging in battle, it's just a very, very intelligent way to play here, because FaZe knows they have to do this if they want to come back into this, and Sniper's going to be up for grabs again.
I like how Respectful looked at it, he saw the Sniper's up, like, that's too good to be true. I'm not falling for that one. Does not like run up there and just grab it.
That's
Instead,
bait.
just kind of look around, like, all right, where are they coming from? Because they're definitely not here right at this moment.
Well, Bound has grabbed the sniper rifle. Last time Snip3down had it, he wasn't really able to use it all that much. And then 2Foxy from NaVi managed to gain possession there. So who knows, right? Anything could happen, but Bound waiting. That's a connection.
Such
Easy.
a good position to be in when you are hidden and you have the element of surprise. Being down there near the power-up base, like I said, generally not just a good spot to be in once you've been spotted or you're just shooting a couple of VR shots, but like to get that element of surprise when you have sniper and catching.
And he also knew that the player there, oh my gosh, oh what a play. You also knew there that Bound, what was so great about that shot was that his teammate was low. He had to challenge no matter what. This kid's on fire. God. He's just slaying out. Well done, but still a 1-kill lead for FaZe. That's all. NaVi just not taking their foot off of the pedal quite yet. Exactly what they need to do here. They cannot give FaZe a moment to breathe. They got the heat wave. They have control of the outside. See if they can turn this into some more points here for them.
Yeah, Jimbo knows he's in a little bit of trouble here from those players over at Sandbag, so he's going to try to get a slightly better position while his teammates try to back him up. And Kimbo's going to see what he can now do with the snipe. They've been on the receiving end of a couple snipes from Bound. It's Kimbo's turn as he gets 1 kill over on Falcated and is not satisfied with just that.
Kimbo waiting around the corner. He knows that they're there. Really in 1 shot. His teammate can go for the challenge. Look at the help that he's providing him as well. Just a great way to bail out of that fight. He's got the assistance. He doesn't have to worry too much about it. Confident fight, though, for Kimbo, but unfortunately, it's going to be, or for him, rather, but fortunate for Falcated. He wins out on that exchange and keeps this one very close. We're still tied. This has been going back and forth.
Yeah, this is actually looking like a really good spot for FaZe at the moment. There were so many players stuck over here at the B stronghold that there's not great options to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, do you run up towards the open field towards Nest? Do you just try to filter over towards Garage and you can get kind of pinned off from players over at Sandbags? It's just, I would say that's probably one of the least ideal spawns you can get here on Livefire and Slayer, or Livefire in general. And I wanted to see how FaZe played that out, but it seemed like it didn't end up being too punishing for the NaVi roster.
Yeah, because they're still in this. They're still neck and neck. 33-33 continues on. Bubu's got this great overlook position as well, and anticipating those players by B. They're going to clean them up now. But with Bound going down, the call has to have been made that 2 Foxy's going to be pushing on the left.
One thing I want to highlight about the scoreline is I feel like Falcated and Snip3down and Bound are all living a quite different game than bubu dubu. They all have like double-digit kills and nearly double-digit deaths, and then bubu's sitting here at 2 kills, 4 deaths. Meaning he must just be sitting back quite a bit, might be like an anchor for the squad, might be his sort of play style, whether that's just a Slayer or whether it's just here on live fire that his team can play around. I mean, there's no coincidence in that. It's not just like, it's not like bubu dubu's just having a low interactive game.
Yeah, and it has to be the combination of him Falcated as well, because there's no world that bubu's at 3 and 4 and at 3 assists, but Falcated is 9. Like, they have to be helping each other out there, and that is probably one of the reasons why you're starting to see this lead develop here. You know, bubu, he's keeping himself out of the action, but contributing enough, and he's not costing them useless deaths. And for NaVi, they have to try and, you know, jump on this here, kind of get bubu out of his comfort zone and push these players aggressively, because they're still very much in this match.
Yeah, this is not over yet. It's going to be more of a question of how soon can they get the sniper back in their hands, because I feel like NaVi saw where the sniper was at. They knew it was at A garage. They had height advantage coming from bags, and they just kind of like left Snip3down. Their strategy seemed to be, we should go fight over a tower, maybe focus on somewhere else, or maybe they just assumed that Snip3down had more help there and did not want to challenge that at that moment. But it was kind of an interesting choice for me, because I feel like in most cases, when you find where the sniper's at and you're at mid-range-ish, you want to just take that engagement while you can get it, while it's somewhere within reach.
More kills starting to come in here. You only need 4 left if you're FaZe, but if you're NaVi, you got to try and bring this one back. Snip3down has had free reign to do what he needed to do with the sniper rifle, but finally will be put down. He hasn't really done all that much with it, but it was more the fear that he had the gun, so he kind of dictated where the movement was going to be coming here for NaVi. 2 more kills remaining as Falcated gets the 49. Looking for another one. He's got no shields. The teammate's going to be weakened as well. 2 players actually weakened in the corner, but it's Respectful who goes down for that final kill, and FaZe go up 2-0. But again, NaVi playing FaZe aggressively, playing FaZe close. They're right there. They just need to close it out.
Yeah, both these games been so close, but end of the day, it's 2-0 here for FaZe, and is take over the center of the map, Golden Boy, and then step 3, BR/tree, Golden Boy.
I like how you're just pointing it at me, and then the music hit at the perfect moment. By the way, update on the side station in case you guys are watching in-house, and those of you watching at home, if you don't have every stream open, Cloud9 versus Xset, and Cloud9 up 2-0, and I mean, look, Cloud9, they're on fire. Without a doubt, they're going to be vicious on land, but so are these 2 teams here, FaZe, NaVi. If FaZe win this, it'll be a clean sweep for their debut on the main stage. And now NaVi, Dave, have to reverse sweep after getting reverse swept by G2 not that long ago.
Yeah, that's a tall order. I mean,
that's a lot. That's a lot. We'll see what they could do.
Look at those nades right off the bat. You saw NaVi just bombarding the double doors. I mean, you control this lower area right off the bat. It feels like you can get that OS grab, but it's not going to be enough. Bound picking off 2 Foxy. Falcated taking out Jimbo, and that's going to be OS in the hands of Bound. And you know what? He's not someone that's going to kind of take this slow. I have a feeling he's going to be flying into this base.
As he should, because he's got that slight advantage with the overshield. And actually, he's going to try and play anchor duty here and watch things for his teammates. He's got some support as well on the opposing BR, still staying alive. And I have to say, man, everything that I've seen out of Bound thus far has been quite impressive. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Bound is the real deal, but so is NaVi. The start didn't quite go the way they wanted, but for right now, they're holding in there.
And just like that, Foxy pinging off the player of the BR. I mean, that's a huge win from NaVi in my eyes right there. They had the disadvantageous position, trying to push out their base. Bound had OS, and they're able to trade kills there and have a presence in the center of the map. So right now, NaVi not looking too bad shape.
2 Foxy is just, he must have taken a few pages out of Pistola's book, because this guy could stay alive. It is quite impressive. And a lot of smart plays that he's making as well, like the hop skip over the doorway, the archways there, not to take any shots from the players in their palm. Like, everything that he was doing there, so well executed. This could be an opportunity for them to make a push here, but they have to clear out these players, and it simply is just not happening. 2 down, though, for FaZe. Falcated has been a big part of the reason why NaVi have failed to be able to make this push a reality.
Yeah, and I would say after they lost that slight engagement over at the tree, that flag was just kind of over. I mean, anytime you have like that slow corridor, on that side of the map, and you're not able to pick up those kills and stay alive, your flag prospects are over. I mean, you saw like 1 or 2 people staying alive from FaZe over on the flag, and they just did a really good job of that defensive side. However, on the flip side of that, if they're able to acquire those kills, that's where those times it turns into a flag grab. One thing that's good about playing defense on your side is if you stop them, yeah, you're in a great defensive position, you stop that flag grab. The bad thing about playing defense so deep in your base is that if you die, you're pretty much out of the picture of that full flag run. There are times where they can pull the flag, get out of the base, and you're spawning back on your flag. That's not where you want to be spawning when they have it out across the map.
Well, here you see again FaZe getting control of the overshield. It was going to be Falcated, even though he's blinking red right now. He got the OS. He's feeling pretty good. Look at the challenge. He pushes in with the grapple shot. Doesn't have to worry about the jumps. He can just venture straight across. And they'll slow it down here. They got to clear these players by BR, the one by Palm as well on their Palm side. And that's bubu dubu with 2 kills to help him out here. And
look
now
at
this is where they start to push. Yeah, that's just what he's doing, and I love it. I'm here for it, man. He's the team support.
This is also awesome how he is just getting right back in the action. You know, he was kind of anchored back over towards his side. Now he's pushing up over towards the opposing BR and just being up front there. It's not like he's just staying stagnant in those situations. So it's almost a question if you actually did have the option of having the equipment on the players up in the front, you know, the ones that are closest to the action, or someone in the back so that they can
get to better positions.
Yeah, they can get a better position after they're the anchor like that. I don't know which one's better. I mean, it's not like this isn't some philosophical question we have to answer right now, Golden Boy, but it does beg the question of where you want to place certain weapons or pieces of equipment across your team in a most ideal scenario.
It's just very clear that, and if you're watching tape on FaZe or you're, you know, the teams in the pool with them, you're even like, you know, studying some of the top players in the game, what FaZe have been doing with this anchor for bubu and how selfless he's been playing, it's just beautiful to watch, man. You know, he's letting his teammates get activated and allowing them to be able to do the things that they do best. Let Snip3down Falcated and Bound slay their hearts out here. And it's working out, but another thing, and to address the elephant in the room, still no captures quite yet. Respectful staying alive there. You see the face like, oh, I'm still up in this one. Let me count my lucky stars, but no flag has been pulled. No flag has been captured, but another overshield loss for NaVi. They have to remove that right away, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, that overshield just got destroyed pretty quick. But yeah, you make up a great point that, you know, all these kills, like Falcated going on a tear, having 12 kills, most in the game, but it's really not translating to anything. So we'll have to see how NaVi start to do once they start to go even in slays, once they actually have control. The last time I saw NaVi over at the FaZe trees, they looked like they were in a great position. They just lost that engagement. So we're going to see if they can actually hold these power positions like Kimbo is right now over the BR. But instead, he barely goes down, doesn't take this fight. Barely won by Eric Rona, the veteranship. Even though he missed a shot or so, still closed it out.
I mean, the movement was getting a little dicey there as well, but Snip3down staying alive, keeping Kimbo out of that fight there. That was everything, right? Now they can try and play off of this, but watch out for 2Foxy. You know, this guy, he could be the European wizard for all we know, because he's been doing a brilliant job of staying alive. They're applying the pressure again. Now, Walshy with FaZe in this back foot with them, knowing that NaVi are trying to get aggressive in their base. Let's jump into another Astro listen-in with FaZe Clan and see how they're going to try and react here.
I saw our flag.
I can kill flag. I can literally kill it.
They know you're missing.
I don't know if they know.
They don't know I'm tree.
One shot double doors. One shot double doors.
Flag guy's gonna be one shot down.
One shot double doors, guys. They're pillars somewhere.
Top rockets, their side. There wasn't another guy in their base.
I got 2, I killed 2.
There wasn't another guy in their base. What's their pillars? Pillars at elbow.
Pillars. I'm here. I'm going for re.
One's on me. Watch out, Eric. Watch out, weak.
Oh, no.
We get rear now.
No.
Watch out, Marie.
They're gonna be on their cafe side.
The double doors, the double doors.
We have OS, but they have rockets now, man.
Hey, yo, play for a just pull the flag.
Flag one shot, Jimbo. One's their double doors.
They have
one
rockets.
shot up there. Down. Mike.
I'm gonna go get to the lockers, man.
Got me, dude. Red bar, the flag.
Yeah, get to the lockers.
Our front base with rockets.
Hit that.
Dude, watch the double doors.
He's
he?
somewhere bottom middle.
On the middle on you.
Watch out our balcony and go in our double doors.
Kimbo's really bottom mid.
It's our double doors. Our double doors with their thirst.
I'm on our lockers.
Go on our flag. They're gonna be in our flag. Is it
Chase,
thirst?
I think.
One shot.
Go to flag. Kimbo's one shot.
Raleigh one shot. Very nice.
He was our thrust really weak.
There's 2 in our tree. Mike, just try to push through.
One it, bro. One it.
Got him in.
Respectful's on spawn.
Dude, I'm just on.
Where?
And during that listen-in, It was NaVi who managed to get that cap. It looked like FaZe had it under control, but now they're in a position where they could potentially be down 2-0 here on Bazaar, as NaVi are putting on a great game here.
Yeah, there was a slight disconnect there from the FaZe side. It started off first saying, all right, do they even know if Bound has this flank? Secondly, Snip3down ended up acquiring that double kill, and there was just hesitancy from the FaZe side just to dive on that flag and start to go for the recov, because sometimes just jumping on the flag right away, you make yourself just an easy target.
Dude, look at this aggression from NaVi. Yeah, they captured the flag 2 times, but even during that whole process, they still have bodies on the other side of the map. FaZe, this is a, I don't want to say desperation, but that certainly is what it feels like. You're just grabbing the flag, taking it low, trying to stay alive here, doing everything you can. You got the support, you go down, but you have someone there to back it up. 2 players, though, are going to be down here for FaZe, as well for NaVi. Both flags are going to be out and potentially returned here. Yep. And man, oh man, this is great for NaVi thus far.
Yeah, NaVi just looking really strong. Whether it's a coordinated cap where they have control and they push up together, they're doing well, or when it's a scrappy time and FaZe are on their flank and pulling out their own flag. They said, we're fine with trading flag pulls, let's try it.
4 down for NaVi. This is where you start to play, but you don't want to get too overzealous here, right? Because yes, sure, you got 4 down, but there's going to be another round of slaves. All these players are going to be spawning in the back of the base. They're not going to have great positioning, so you got to get up in their face and try and force them to make some bad moves here. There's more work that needs to be done in order for you to try and get in that base and take that flag away from them.
And I like that play from Respectable, trying to take out Falcated. However, I expected some more help there from the NaVi side. It felt like there was 2 players on the NaVi flag waiting to help and attack, but did not get the help that I expected to see in that position. And we are now seeing, not finally, but we're now seeing this FaZe pull. They now have control of the base for a moment. They had a couple members out there, but the flag gets stopped instantly, Golden Boy. What do you think is the problem for them getting this flag out of the base? Personally, I feel like they just, they have not been like securing like Palm and BR, but yeah, it's really tough for me to tell because it feels like they've had those positions previously, and then like either a player flanks all the way around. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
I gotta give credit to Jimbo, man. He was by himself, and while all that was going on, right, his 3 teammates are like, okay, you go ahead and keep Falcated, busy. Granted, they're starting to make moves with the flag here now, but that actually could have worked out very well, and it may actually end up working out very well for them here because they have managed to take out Falcated, and there's no one in the vicinity to be able to pull that flag. You gotta give it to the vet there, Jimbo. He, by himself, held them off, and they were able to clear them off and force them away from their palms. So everything worked out for them there.
Gotcha. So some great individual plays from your eyes. Yeah, for me, it's really tough to assess that one because it just seems like I was like, all right, FaZe seemingly did everything right. They pushed in from upper positions. They came in from BR. They came in from Palm. They had 2 players on flag, but it just felt like the numbers from NaVi just kept flowing in. It didn't really make sense to me. It just felt like, all right, you got the kills. Wait, why are there more people here? You should have a big numbers advantage.
And we talked about that in the last series that we casted. It was a XSET game versus Space Station, right? Like when one player is able to pull the attention of 1 or 2 players, and God darn it. But like when one player is able to pull the attention away, right? That is a huge thing.
Yeah, based on how that game was going, I would expect NaVi to close that one out because Bazaar CTF is one of those maps that as long as you don't like just turtle up in your own base and sit back the entire time, yeah, they can take up some ground in the middle of the map. They no longer have to overextend into the FaZe base to try getting a flagpole. They just have to get a few slays to just close this out.
You know, back in my day, we used to do the whole live streaming on the phone and capture the open bracket games. So that was definitely a vibe there. But hey, NaVi walks away with that win. You can see them fist bumps, right? Give it up for NaVi. Big win for them. The series continues. I have to say, man, that is exactly what NaVi needed, because NaVi, they managed to pick up a win in map 3. If you're just joining us, we saw the conclusion of that game from the players' perspectives, but nothing was affected. As for FaZe, they want to end this one. They want to close it out. They want to be done. Because if so, well, that'd be big for them. That, it has been a long day for all the players that are on that stage, and FaZe want to try and just wrap it up. We'll see if they could do it, though.
Yep, this oddball here on the streets. I'm going to have to come up with a new joke later because I used to, you know, back in the day on Oddball and Halo 1, we used to play it on the streets and stuff. But, does not work anymore, but we're going to see which team first acquires those rocks. Were they able to just snag those right away? It looks like Foxy, no fear whatsoever, pulling like a matchmaking strategy, says, I'm going to sprint up, get those right away, and they're going to collapse in. That's 3 down for a moment, and they're just hunting down in the back of this A stronghold.
Ooh, we're getting a little cheeky there. Okay, I like what I'm seeing to Foxy.
We're gonna hope that was an accident, Foxy.
You don't want to see Snip3down when he's angry.
It's actually true.
Well, hey man, I think that NaVi are kind of they want to poke the bear. They want to see if they can get Snip3down to make mistakes, which is going to be very rare. They want to see if they can get this FaZe clan squad to make mistakes, and now Snip3down gets ball control, and you also, you know, have this stalker gun, which I have ignored it so many times in matchmaking. And then the other day, I believe I was, whose stream was I? It doesn't matter. I was watching, and that thing hits hard.
Yeah,
that is a very aggressive gun.
It does a lot of damage, and there's a nice little play ball from Snip3down, putting himself all the way in the back of A here. And one thing that's really good about that is if NaVi were going to try to get some sort of full control or a bunch of full slays, they have to hunt Snip3down down. They have to go all the way back there in order to get those kills.
Teammates are going to be spawning over by the arcade over here, and that'll be a bit concerned. The fact that Foxy has been able to run away with a lot of points here is quite concerning. No one has really been in a position to try and stop him, even though there was activity going on top A, right? We see bubu looking at there. They're just waiting this one out.
That's such a good anchor spot. Because as soon as you know you hit someone back A, they only have that one other angle to go to. And generally when you go to the base of those stairs, you're only getting hit from Purple Street. So I really like that ledge above the PD that you can get the angle over towards the A stairs. So that's something I'm going to be implementing in my play style, that's for sure.
Rockets been grabbed here by FaZe, but unfortunately not much you can get out of that. Foxy was able to get so many points, and he's still alive, by the way. The man's a psychopath. The fact that he's been able to keep himself up this whole time has been so impressive. He's only got 1 death, and everything that you saw Foxy do, from grabbing the ball, wrapping it around, to Rockets with the Bulldog play, these kills, that was all 1 life that he managed to live, and he lived it, well, very well.
Yeah, that was so huge. Like you said, it wasn't just getting those kills, it's also moving the objective towards his teammates. I mean, they have a 33-point lead for a reason.
Ball's going to be out in no man's land here. And in a really rough spot, too. It's right at the corner of the steps. Respectful waiting for them to come up, but I think they're going to be wise to it and not try and make the move happen here. Snip3down does go down. He was actually the player that was there, and then you get another kill there for Respectful. 2 down. The last 2 are going to be located on the opposite side of the map. I think Kimbo is going to be going for that challenge, potentially. Could get the kill. Actually, he's going to wrap right back around to Respectful, and the ball's been grabbed yet again by NaVi.
Look at the thoroughness of clearing out that you have from NaVi. Respectful didn't take anything for granted. Didn't just start flying out towards the first person that he heard the call for. He wanted to make sure no one was PD. He double-checked back towards A. He just made sure to know exactly where FaZe members were at and where they likely would be spawning at.
This is the only time I'm going to say this because I think it's worth saying, but I'm actually really curious to hear Clutch's perspective on how well this NaVi team is playing, because they have, you know, there's just a lot of takeaways from their game, from the way that Foxy stays alive to the composure that Respectful has had in multiple engagements. The comms as well have been very clean, and even for FaZe as well, right? They've been trying to find ways to get themselves back into the game, but there's one glaring thing that we have to acknowledge here in this matchup. In this first round, Snip3down has really just been contributing on the assist category. He has not been able to get frags, but he's still contributing as much as he can.
Yeah, it's just, it has been really difficult run off the start of this oddball round here for Snip3down, but you know, that's the beauty of this new game mode. The fact that it's 3 rounds. You can have a rough round. Doesn't matter if you lose this round by 1 point or by 100 points. All that matters is you get the round wins. So this one might have to just be kind of shaken off here, but it is kind of scary, the momentum that we're seeing building from this NaVi side. They're just playing so well together, and Jimbo closing out those last couple seconds to get 38 points of objective ball time there to win that round.
A strong start for the European squad here. representing the legendary NaVi organization. Just walked away with a major win as well in CS. Simple getting his first championship like that was pretty awesome to watch. And who knows, man, they could be channeling a little bit of that NaVi magic that we saw then. Maybe it could be happening now for this squad if it keeps going like this.
Yeah, I mean, this squad is looking like they've been putting the work in. They've looking really strong thus far. My only fear that I have in the long run, like we said, is that when it comes to just daily scrims and practice that we have here, the options I have in North America is just more abundant. So we're gonna see if right now if this is the time for NaVi to shine, or what kind of boot camps that they'll be getting in the future. But yeah, this future is really bright here for this NaVi squad.
Well, if I recall, these are the same setup. Maybe not all 4 of them, or potentially, I don't remember off the top of my head, that actually were for the Halo 5 World Championship. We're actually here and staying in the U.S. for a super long time. Like, this team takes it incredibly seriously, as they should. But FaZe knows that, and they're going to have to come out in this round aggressive. They're going to have to come out all guns blazing, and so far, so good for them. They're working together. They're getting these frags. They have ball control. They simply just need to keep this one going, but unfortunately for Snip3down, his back was turned to Respectful. That's going to be a clean double there for the veteran.
Yep, with 2 down, you notice how NaVi do not hesitate to fly across the map, but even though we saw a different story there for NaVi on the perp side where they're getting double kill, looks like FaZe had their own thing to say over on the B streets as they got 2 kills of their own. So even slaves versus even slaves, you can't just go flying across the map all willy-nilly.
Bubu did the smart play there. He waited it out, anticipated maybe a nade could be coming from the cross if he pushed it. But this has been a great start for FaZe. Exactly what they needed to have happen here. You know, Snip3down did struggle at the beginning, but the rest of his teammates were keeping him in it, right? That and Halo at the end of the day is a team game. You got to contribute as much as possible. Let's not forget that he had a whole mess load of assists, so he was helping out his squad. It was just not enough for NaVi. This time around, they seem to be playing off of that a bit more, and well, let's see if they can keep this one going here, because it's 44-2 and counting. But the tram push is coming.
Yeah, this score can be a bit deceiving at the moment. This ball is now in the back of the C stronghold, and whoever gets these next couple kills is in a prime setup position. This is also one of those dangerous positions, kind of like we talked about in live fire before over at the A stronghold, where whatever team acquires those kills, gets those kills at the end, you basically have a pre-setup for you already there with the oddball. There's really no great rotation options with the current location.
Well, they managed to get 2 players down. This is where you begin to fly. Another one's going to go down because they get the rockets as well. And now ball control will be for NaVi. They have to eliminate Falcated, who's hanging out by the balcony. But watch out for those spawns that are going to be coming out from that back alley on the left side of the map there, right? Lots of activity. They have to respond to this accordingly. And a great play to keep Respectful alive. He's still there, and he's helping out. See right there? That's an assist for Jimbo as Respectful gets the kill with the Bulldog.
Oh, and 2 fall in response. But one thing that's I really like seeing here from NaVi is they seem just to sort of focus on one half of the map there. They knew that these players were spawning all the way over towards A side, and they didn't know if they were over in PD or towards back Cafe, and they found out that they were more towards Cafe, so they said, all right, we'll take them as much as we can over here on the PD side of the map, clear out anyone we can here, and then just do cross maps across.
I was going to say a big win for Kimbo. Jimbo's still going to be in play, I believe, but here comes the ball. Jimbo still alive in the back area here. Can Snip3down win the fight? And he does so. A huge win, though, but another push from Respectful with his trusty Bulldog, and he'll get ball control yet again. Does he have the support, though?
He does not. He has to drop and slay this in my eyes. He needs to drop this towards maybe the stairs, but maybe he's just baiting a player in for a moment. I really do not like this positioning from Respectful. I feel like he needs to be in a more powerful spot that he can finish off a kill or acquire a kill. It looks like he finds Falcated, but Falcated's movement's just too good with those thrusts.
Hey, well, Jimbo's there to back him up, though, so I'll go ahead and take that if you're NaVi. Ball's still going to be inside of Tram. I believe the spawns will be in their benefit, too, so they still have control of this side of the map. They just got to get the ball and start to get some points, but they lost Kimbo and Jimbo at the same time.
Yep, that is going to be rough here. It seems like FaZe are now going to be able to capitalize on these couple kills, push on in. They're actually going to grab the time themselves. This is really not looking so strong here for NaVi on the second round.
Oh, and a push across mid with the ball, removing it from Tram, not letting that continue to live there. That's a smart call. Snip3down hovering around the original spawn. He's got the assistance too. And the ball has been obtained again, but it keeps sliding. It keeps sliding to the street, and because of that, he had to go and grab it, Snip3down. He ended up paying for that with his life.
Also, Snip3down just might be having those nightmares like I saw on social. It's like, grab the ball. And so right there, he's just making sure he's like, all right, someone's got to do it. I got to grab the ball if someone else cannot grab it.
All right, well, unfortunately, there's going to be another drop there for NaVi. But again, we will be sure to keep you guys up to speed. As did get a change on the overlay. NaVi will be on the left and FaZe will be on the right because I believe that is going to match up with the side switch. So there are the color changes as well. But NaVi just needs one more round. And FaZe, they're going to need 2 here, just as we were talking about before. But here's this initial start. It's looking pretty solid so far for NaVi.
Yep, Bound and this FaZe squad doing just fine in the neutral game. I mean, they took out 3. I believe Jimbo is the last remaining member here from NaVi, and at least gets a trade. So Jimbo taking out Falcated, not the end of the world, but this is just fine for FaZe. FaZe says, we're fine to trade kills here if we're getting ball time.
Yeah, that's all they need. As a reminder, folks, FaZe need 2 rounds to win. NaVi just needs 1. So if anyone's in the chat saying, what's the score? You can go ahead and tell them that's what I said. All right? We don't want any shenanigans here, people. But bubu still continuing to have possession of the ball here by Tram. He has some support as well. And NaVi, they have time to kind of let FaZe get these points and check their corners and dot their I's and cross their T's as they make the push.
Such a smart route. So one thing that Jimbo saw is he saw the location of that ball carrier. That ball carrier was watching driveway, anyone coming down there. So Jimbo decides to go all the way towards B stairs, jump up on the dumpster, and get over towards top C. That's an area that they were just not watching, and sometimes you take for granted some of those paths that can come out from, you know, like B stairs and such, and such a great flank, such a patient flank, and I'm actually surprised that nobody from FaZe was watching there later on as time passed.
Had anticipated it because you know, right? You have that feeling, that creeping like sensation where you're like,
you haven't seen someone in a while.
No one's come from the right side. I think they're going to come that way.
Yeah. Your spidey sense goes off sometimes in this game, and you always have to trust it. The thing is, you have to trust it immediately. That's one skill that I think Halo players kind of learn later on, that they're like something doesn't feel right, and then you get backsmacked, like, oh man.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to think that question, you're like, something, like, turn around instantly, look for what's going wrong, because trust your gut instinct. There's something going on in your subconscious that you're just not calculating just yet.
2Foxy just ate a rocket. He just got blown up. That was a direct shot. Bound has possession of the rockets and does actually, well, with the help of bubu manages to get out Kimbo as well as take out Jimbo. Respectful, deleted, you're out of here. And now it's going to be FaZe grabbing the ball again and adding on to this time.
And when Bound is going off like this, Bound has 8 kills. As soon as a teammate gets near him from FaZe, I would love to see them pick up the ball. This is the correct play right now because there's no good handoff. But if you ever have a teammate that is just playing out of their mind, take advantage of those moments. Everyone has the potential to go on fire, and when they do, let them use that heat.
Well, Bound still staying alive here. Smart call. Moving this ball. The rotation has been beautiful, but Kimbo might be there to receive them. Falcated, I was going to say, Falcated might have to be the one to take care of it, but actually it's going to be Bound that needs to deal with him. And the challenge comes right in, and no one expected that, and Kimbo manages to get 2 out of that. That was a big play out of him.
Yeah, I really think, you know, first off, it was a fantastic rotation from Bound. It's smartest to prioritize getting that objective time. However, I felt there may have been an opportunity to do a handoff there.
All right, well, we'll see what Snip3down can do here. As he does get that assist, Bound is there to back him up, help him out now. The ball, though, has been grabbed by NaVi. It's going to be all the way in the back alleys. Here comes Snip3down. That's that drop shot coming into play. Kind of eats that first shot, though. 2Foxy there for the support to help out. Snip3down finally getting taken out here, and here's Jimbo just doing what veterans do best, staying alive, valuing that life as much as they can.
Yep, and that was a huge pickup there on bubu, making sure he at least gets that trade. But this next series of kills is going to really decide not just only who gets the ball, but who's spawning across the map, and that's the more important part. So that's why these players are trying to push all the way towards back A or towards PD to make sure that they block those spawns or influence their teammates to spawn with them.
So close here for FaZe to tie this one up. A reminder for anyone just joining us, we had a technical difficulty. FaZe, they have to get 2 rounds. NaVi need to get 1. And so far, so good for FaZe. Rockets have been grabbed. You have 2 in the boomstick, but Respectful with the big win and is going to get nuked by bubu though, so the Rockets are still going to be in play though. 2 down now for NaVi. Ball has not been grabbed quite yet. Bound with the Bulldog might be a problem here.
But once again, just going to keep his height advantage. Going to look to see if he can get ace or a slays. Look how slippery
There's that last
he is.
rocket.
Finally get taken out, but to make them use not only a few BR shots, make them run around, but use the rocket, it feels like it's not as much of a waste. Sometimes when you eat like a sniper bullet or a rocket, you feel a little better. You're like, all right, at least some of the power weapon is out of their hand now.
Dude, the way that Foxy lives is nuts, man. He was in a position where one shot, the spike grenades went off, and those things go wherever the hell they want. And he still manages, grab the ball. He's got the help he needs, and he plays it right in the middle of the field here, drawing all this attention. 2 players down for NaVi, 1 down for FaZe. The Snip3down is going to be on the pursuit. Ball's going to be right in front of him here, and he knows that Jimbo's to the left and has to worry about Kimbo. But look at this challenge, and great help.
So great help, and I was just going to say, it's so smart of Snip3down to really take over that C spot. But even though they took over that area, we have a great rotation coming out from NaVi. I was going to say, Snip3down and FaZe were playing that so well, just realizing that if they stayed alive, kind of secured the area above the ball, they'd be in great position. But anytime the ball rotates away like that, that position is now negated. Back C is actually the worst spot that you can be now that Jimbo rotated that ball away.
Bound for the help, gets a double kill though. And there goes the ball grabbed again. Bound is having one heck of a game, but to echo what you said before, this is the smart play. He grabs the ball, he's going to anticipate a potential push here, but he's got support from Falcated on the left. They only need 7 seconds remaining here. Here comes the push though. Jimbo gets him at PD, another play on the side. They lose the Rockets as well, and Respectful with another melee. He's been having one heck of a round here, 13 and 6. They have to grab that ball, which is exactly what they do, and time continues to tick in their favor, but they only need 7 points.
This is an interesting step though too. I noticed just kind of how Foxy was looking at that, was realizing it almost seemed like he was positioning to rotate over towards Purple Street. They're going by a form of deduction. You saw how NaVi were noticing, all right, nobody's here on purple side. That means we can just start to rotate here. That must mean they're over on B Street, and that's exactly the rotation that NaVi do. They just realized they didn't have to see them first. They just knew what area was safe.
But this is problematic though, Walsh, because the ball's out and in the middle of the open area. They grab it with no worry whatsoever. Only 1 more point remaining, and that is going to be FaZe getting a crucial round win. We're all knotted up. Next round determines who wins this.
Go for a flag stop. But just as if you want to see how that flag capture ends up,
go to Bravo.
Go to Bravo. You're here with me and Golden Boy here on Alpha.
Not the caster Bravo, just go to the Bravo stream. Actually, I believe it's on Twitch at HCS, same thing for YouTube as well. But hey, take a look at that scoreboard there, man. You got 3 people down. It's just Falcated holding the fort. The ball has been grabbed by NaVi. 1 round, that's it. Don't worry about the bottom. They just need 1 round.
And look at that massive flank again. I keep talking about how Falcated's able to penetrate behind the opposing lines. He's able to get all the way back there, and this time did not pay off as much since the ball got rotated towards A. But it goes to show how sneaky and how fast this player is. Falcated is a playmaker. There's so many times where I'm guaranteeing he can just tell his teammates, stay alive, I'll make something happen soon. Just distract, I got an angle.
That's a great quality to have as well, you know, in a teammate. Was there anyone in your time, right, that was like that player that you knew, like, hey, I'm gonna make a play happen?
There's definitely players that have those different tendencies. You know, I would say more specifically when I played with someone like Nated, he was definitely kind of that aggressor when we had him on our Carbon roster. But every single player on my team, on my teams, would get used to that and know how to call that out. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's not going to be always the same person doing it. Yes, some people do it more often than others, but it's definitely a situation that you want to call and react to who's in position. And you want to make sure that you support that correctly. And you want to know who is kind of like in the position to make the play for your team, because you don't all want to be trying something different. Like if I have someone on my team already flanking, I don't want to have 1 or 2 other flankers. We're all just at that point doing our own thing.
At that point, you're all just running around the opposite side of the map.
Cue the Benny Hill music at that point. You're all just running around the bottom middle doing nothing together.
Not something you want to see here. FaZe, again, they have a few players down, but they still have ball. Play ball there from Falcated to the mid is going to send this right back over to his teammates. This could be a big win now for bubu if he can close out Kimbo in the corner, but he's got the support from Bound, and the ball's still going to be active there right in front of Tram. NaVi waiting for the perfect opportunity to make the push happen as well. The Sentinel Beam's going to hit him with the wub-wubs. And a rocket has been grabbed as well. Love to see it for 2 Foxy. He just happened to stumble upon one. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, great position to be in. And not afraid to use his BR in those moments either, just realizing they're all the way across the map. So 2 Foxy's going to have to try to get a couple kills from this if they're going to want to translate this into anything. But he's having trouble finding some opponents. There is one as he finds Bound coming around the corner and then loses the rocket to bubu dubu. That's the second time we've seen bubu pick up those kills from the bat ledge over above PD.
Yeah.
Going up towards top PD and realizing that that is sort of the counter towards anyone on A side. That could be a great starting position for your team to push out as you have angles towards B Street, and you also have defense on your own side.
Well, now, as we wait to see how they're going to play this out, NaVi continuing to add to their score, but little by little, they tick away here. FaZe have to get in their face. Where are the spawns going to be coming from for NaVi? Where's that support? I think it's going to be happening behind them too, so no tram control. Let's see what 2 Foxy can do with the Sentinel Beam.
Gets a little damage there, but does not have players in position at the moment to get those kills. Bomb center, great extra damage from Snip3down, but is it enough? It looks like gonna push on in, get that kill, get the ball stop at least. But right now it's important that Foxy just stays alive, because Foxy is going to be this supporting member for this setup once they get this kill, and they might actually be able to scrap up some time.
Oh, you
so
say
great
you need
job
Foxy
by
to stay alive?
That's what he's great at.
You just needed him to stay alive?
Just stay alive a little
He's
bit
kind of been doing it this whole time. He's still alive, by the way. The guy's unreal. You know, it's been so impressive to see the way that Foxy and the rest of this crew have rallied behind this here. It's been such a tall order, especially against FaZe. You got some real heavy hitters on that team, and they had just came off of a reverse sweep against G2. They were up, they were in a similar position, they were looking great, man, and then things just started falling apart.
That'll happen. That'll happen from time to time.
They have certainly dug themselves out of that rut, though. 2 kills for FaZe, though. 2 Foxy tries, he might, can't stay alive on that one. This is it for all the marbles, by the way. Whoever wins this, that will be the difference. That will be who walks away with this dub. For NaVi, if they win, we'll be going to a Game 5 Aquarius Slayer. For FaZe, well, they can close it out right here. Falcated, he's got himself a rocket in his pocket, but unfortunately for him, it didn't connect. It is going to push a player back, though, and actually do a sizable amount of damage. That's 2 cleared out of that one for Falcated. Maybe a third, too. Yep. That's going to be a nice double kill for him. He's maybe looking for another one as well. The thrust is good, and that's a nice triple. And they get ball control here. Let's see how much time they can add to this.
Yeah, this is going to be at least 10 seconds here coming out for the FaZe squad. I don't really see many more pushes come out from NaVi. This next one's going to be pivotal. Not only do they need to stop this ball, but they need enough kills to make sure that FaZe can't just pick up this ball and close out the map.
They have to do this right here, right now. NaVi need to push. The ball's starting to rotate. Oh, hey, but it's been grabbed there, and a trade actually comes through. Snip3down. Oh, gets the shots off there with the banished rifle. They have to grab this ball. For FaZe, they have to get this. They have 8 points. That's it. And you know, they can end them. They can end the suffering here for FaZe, and most importantly, because you know they feel like they should be walking away with this win. And this gun, the Stalker, is so nasty.
Ball's gonna reset soon anyways, so we're gonna have to see if they're gonna pick this up or if they continue to bait it. So we're gonna have to see how FaZe decides to play this one out. And there it is, ball resets. That may have even been part of the strategy with Coach Towie behind them saying, hey, ball's gonna reset in a few seconds. You can pick this off the spawn, catch them off guard, and Snip3down grabs 98, 99, and closes it out with 100. That's going to be FaZe taking the series 3-1 over NaVi, but so well fought.
Indeed it was. Credit deserved to NaVi for making this one heck of a series